Hello, I'm Mystical, joined once again by the ever-illustrious Elise Randolph for the third match of this winner bracket today. That is Esports Petopia versus the Weekend Warriors. Weekend Warriors bringing 3 Paladins, a Hugin, 2 Maguses, Confessor, 2 Deacons, and a Skybreaker. A really interesting setup that we're seeing here. And the other team?
Yeah, Esports Petopia are going back with the Rattlesnakes. Kind of see a theme going on today. So triple Rattlesnakes, a Hugin, a Stork, double Jackdaws for support, double Kirans for logistics, and then a Raptor just for snap tackle and stuff. I mean, this Hugin, similar to the Hyena in the last match, this Hugin is going to be the first one primaried by the Weekend Warriors here. In fact, both teams are going for the Hugins, and they're both just eating it right now. These ships are linchpins. They help everyone else apply damage, and they slow things down.
I was just going to say, sorry, so really interesting to see that the Rattlesnakes dropped, I believe, Wardens, and Sarion is burning directly into the Weekend Warrior team. So he's leaving his team behind a little bit, but I think the other Rattlesnakes are following on. I think the Paladins are doing a better job of taking out the Hugin at this point in time, but we can see that Orca is burning away. So we'll have to see whether that helps keep the Hugin alive against the Paladins. I think he might have quite a hard time given the fact that they have tracking computers on those 3 ships.
Yeah, the one thing going for Orca in the Esports Hugin here is he's got a very strong resist to shield in EM. So, I mean, these Paladins are doing very little damage to him. And as you mentioned, he's all the way back behind the field now. He's almost 100 kilometers from these Paladins, so he's stabilizing. And man, this Paladin is going down fast. Flips Frags is just chunking right now. These Rattlesnakes are just chewing into him so much. He's in a 3rd armor already before he starts to even get anything back.
Yeah, so that Paladin's absolutely not having a great time. I can see that there's missiles coming off of those Rattlesnakes. They are in range. They are firing quite slowly, so I'm wondering whether they are... I'm trying to figure out what weapon system they have. It seems like the Paladin's reactive armor control, which he probably has probably spooled towards the damage that they're putting out at the moment, because he is surviving a little bit longer now, giving those Deacons time to work on his HP. But he is dropping ever so slightly in structure every now and then.
This is a crucial trade right now. This moment right now, is this Scorpion Navy issue going to go down first? It looks like it. And if that happens, oh my gosh, maybe not. This Paladin's now in low structure. Whoever goes down first has a massive disadvantage here, right? It looks like they might go down around the same time. The Scorp Navy issue is entering structure. All right, Scorp Navy issue survives a little bit longer than the Paladin, but they both look like they're going to die here. 2 core ships are now removed from the field. As you can see, the Rattlesnakes are now going after Howling Wind in the Paladin, and he is taking so much damage.
I think it's important to note, right, that the Rattlesnake team has, I think, more damage in its lower end. So they have the Jackdaws, they have the Raptor. If it wants to get involved, get in there with its blasters. So it does have a little bit more damage. Armor should technically, I guess, be a little bit tankier in this in terms of resistances. And we do see a lot of rep bots on that Paladin at this moment in time. So perhaps what the Rattlesnakes could try and do, if they have it, is get rid of those rep bots with some smart bombs. If they don't, then I guess they're just stuck shooting that Paladin and hoping that it drops before they do.
So an interesting development here. Handsy Babes went out and grabbed the 2 Kirans on the Esports Petopia side, and they were able to clear them out instantly right now. So there's no logistics left on the red team. As you know, the Deacon is now starting to take a little bit of damage by the Weekend Warriors. They're trying to overcompensate, but not going to happen, I don't think. As you see, this Rattlesnake is going down. There are no reps to keep him up. There are 0 reps left on this Esports Petopia side. So he is just going on active tank alone here.
So I think what Esports Petopia...
Oh my gosh.
With their Raptor, what they're doing is that they're putting damage onto this Deacon to... Am I still here? Yeah. So they're putting damage on the Deacon with the Raptor to try and make sure that, the Deacon of Bacardi has to split reps, which means that there's less reps going into that Paladin. But it's going to be a very close call between this Rattlesnake and this last Paladin that's still up here, that Howling.
All right, so 1 Deacon down. This Rattlesnake is going down. Let's see if Howling Wind can get a better trade out of this one than the last Paladin. But these guys seem to be in a commanding position. The Weekend Warriors, they've just got some swagger about them as they die when I say that. But Error Code 118 in the Rattlesnake is also going to go down. You're now left with the 2 Deacons left on the Weekend Warriors team, although they look a little bit dicey right now as Drentu is taking a lot of damage here.
I think the Deacons are actually in a better position now because the Paladin's gone down. They can switch all those rep bots over to Dren 2, which means that he isn't going to have a hard time tanking against the 2 Jackdaws and the Raptor. I think they'll probably have difficulty if the Rattlesnake switches onto one of the Paladins, for example. I think he needs to. I don't know what he's shooting at the moment. I think it may be trying to put damage on this Deacon or perhaps plinking away at the Confessor. I saw it take a little bit of damage there. But that's all damage wasted. It should be into the Paladin because once he goes down, there's not really too much left on the Esports Petopia team to take that Paladin down, right? So it needs to be as far into armor or structure as possible. And, at the moment, we just don't see any damage coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, man of the match here is Handsy Babes in this Hugin. Not only did he survive early on, but he was able to position himself to grab the Esports Petopia logistics frigates and just snap kill them almost instantly, right? Like they died in less than 10 seconds each from these paladins with the Hugin webs and paints on them. So Handsy getting in there, being able to grab those logistics frigates, huge swing, massive swing for the Esports or for the Weekend Warriors side. Because you can see, like right now, the Paladin is just sitting pretty. He's able to pump into this Rattlesnake. The poor Esports Petopia side are trying to decide what to shoot, but they lost this DPS race, right? So they're just going to slowly lose their last Rattlesnake as the support wing tries to grab anything they can. And Drentu in his Deacon, he's probably got a little bit of sweaty palms going on. He's got like 15% structure left.
Yeah, I imagine it's quite a heart-stopping moment when you see yourself dropping so low into structure, and there's still 2 battleships on each side left. Your one goes down just before. It doesn't look great, at least from the HP point of view. But again, being able to switch those bots over, focus all of your reps onto your Deacon buddy, allows you to keep that Deacon up. I did want to shout out the Skybreaker actually of Midnights, who's just been plinking away at both teams, and much of the damage that we're seeing on the Magus, the Hugin, and the Confessor at the moment is just the Skybreaker gun actually doing some friendly fire there. So not really killing any of the Rattlesnake drones since they're so tanky, but still making an effort.
All right, so that Rattlesnake goes down. So it was a double Rattlesnake Scorp Navy core that the esports team had, really strong. It looked like a DPS race. In fact, it was a DPS race straight up until Handsy Babe caught the Kirans, and they just made that call. They're like, hey, I got this Kiran tackled, I got him webbed, do you want to swap to him? They said, yeah, sure, let's swap to him. Instant swap, instant kill, and that just gave him the match. Really, that split second decision, really good stuff from Weekend Warriors. They're showing that the last weekend wasn't a fluke. They belong in the winners bracket more than that crazy Warlords team.
Exactly. I mean, Warlords, who cares about those guys? Weekend Warriors have done, exceedingly well in this match and their last one, knocking out some of the tournament favorites, or at least expected favorites, taking out Esports Petopia. It looks like they're performing really strongly for the team and the comps that they have.
Esports Petopia, I mean, they did get beat here in a very close match, right? Everything hinged on just a couple seconds. We'll still see them in the lower brackets, right? They're not gone, and we saw a lot of good stuff out of him. Out of this team, no one really knew what to expect. These guys used to be in fraternity. They split off to do their own thing. They're a very strong unit, right? You can see that they pilot incredibly well here. So a lot to see for them. But yeah, the Weekend Warriors advance here with a very strong showing. I love this triple Paladin setup. I thought it was goofy when we saw it in the first weekend, but I'm eating my words now. It is incredibly effective just with these pulses, how far out this Scorch is able to reach.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very strong setup, I think, for the tournament at the moment. It's a shame that I guess Esports Petopia kind of had the same idea. They brought the Hugin, they brought the 3 battleships. It just, they favored the Rattlesnakes over the Paladins, and we do see that it makes a difference which battleships you bring, because Rattlesnakes will have a harder time just snap killing logistics frigates. Paladins, no such trouble. We see them go down immediately, and it does change the balance of the match as it continues on.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Missy mentioned, they're very similar setups, just one shield, one armor, one's missiles, one's turrets, and the armor wins the day. The Paladins gonna go and finally shoot down this Route 3 in the Historic, gonna get them off the field right towards the end.
Yeah,
oh, man. What a great showing from Weekend Warriors. That was just great decision making. That's what you love to see in these types of matches.
Yeah, a good comp flown really well, which is what we like to see and what they'll need, I think, going forward in that winners bracket as well, since there are quite a few strong teams I think left in there. So yeah, no, a great performance.
And with that, we're going to congratulate the Weekend Warriors and send it back to Ithaca Hawk and the rest of the panel in the studio.